assembling the shield. The middle panel needs to go on top. So lay out the two and place the middle panel on top, ensuring that the middle panel is over the top of the left, middle panel over the top of the right. To bolt it all together, you'll need, for each hole, a nut, 2 washers, lock nut, a nut. Bolt, 2 washers, lock nut, nut. Lift it back. That side on the underside. Washer, lock nut. Once you've attached all 4 on both seams, bend it together into a circle and then attach the last few. Once you've attached all 4 on both seams, bend it together into a circle and then attach the last few. Next, it talks about the red marker being the top. Now, the red marker would be the top if you're mounting it on the right hand side, but in our case we're mounting it on the left hand side, so the red marker is actually the bottom. See? Bracket, left hand side, this will be the top. So this being the top, we need to ensure that we have an entire panel covering the top and a seam at the bottom so that it can all drip out. Place the ring on the dish, ensuring that the seam is at the bottom. And in our case the red marker is the bottom, there's the drain hole. And you'll notice that at the top there's an entire length. That'll stop water getting in. You'll notice all the bolts line up with the holes. Just put them in one by one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and expand out from there, ensuring that you've got nut, washer, poke it through, washer, lock nut, bolt. Once all of the bolts have been completed, around, these 2 being last of course, being the bottom where the seam is, do them all up with 2 10mm spanners, relatively firm, not too tight. Starting from the top, starting from the top there, do the seams last, top, working your way down so the tension's placed out. Once you've done all the bottom ring up, do the top 2, and then do the bottom one. Next comes the feed, goes in there. You need to grease it up first. Basically put the gloves on, put grease around all of the side surfaces. Grease is applied to the 3 surfaces. Make sure you don't get it in the screw holes. Slide the feed in, ensuring that the flat edge is to the top, and get it as level as you possibly can. Then screw in the bolts, top right, bottom left, top left, bottom right. Once the feed is in and secured, put the top on. See, there's actually grooves here. Obviously the grooves need to match up to the grooves in the top. Once the dome is on, secure with the screws. Make sure you follow the instructions perfectly with the order at which they're done. Bottom left, top right, etc. Screws are similar to the bolts, and you've got one self-tapping screw, you've got a lock nut, and then you've got a washer. Every single one of them. Once all the screws are done, make sure the lock nuts are tight, and they're all done up securely, and flip the antenna over. Remove the wood supports. Next, secure the mounting plate. You'll need all those bits. Pop the tape off. Get your finger in there. See how the top of the feed, parallel part there, is horizontal. Next, this feed bracket has to slide over the top of the end of the feed. This. That small O-ring goes inside first. Pushes down into the groove and then slides over the top. O-ring on top, then this bracket showing the waveguide out. You should be able to see the rubber, you'll be able to feel the rubber on there anyway. That's the guide pin for horizontal or vertical. Make sure the guide pin is dead straight down because it'll matter when putting on the second bracket. Next, slide the larger O-ring over the top and then secure it with the notch. See the tabs lined up. Screw holes line up. Put these ones in. Once that's done, the last O-ring needs silicone put on it. So get the gloves on. Before the O-ring goes on, put the side brackets on. And then you have to worry about hitting against the radio converter. With these bolts, there's 4 large and 3 small. Make sure that you get them right. My mistake, 5 large, 4 small. The large ones are to secure the bracket to the antenna. Bolt, lock nut, washer. Bracket on the side, 5 bolts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Attach all the brackets, bolts and the bracket to the antenna and secure. And then do that one. Make sure these are put in first because they're hard to get in afterwards. Those brackets first, then those ones. The other side.
Just have to do it up in your antenna though.
Next, silicone up the O-ring and put it inside that and attach the radio to it. It's easier to amalgamate the connector before putting the radio on, so we'll do that now. Secure the frequency converter, these lugs, making sure the hole lines up to the feed. Add these little extensions to fit the other bracket on. You can use an extension, a 10mm spanner, to get it all secured. Place the bracket over the top and screw it down. Once the top bracket's secured, place the MDU on the top. The little Molex connector that comes with the MDU, put a small slice in that, poke it inside and tape it back up. Zip tie power conduit plug onto the bracket.
So I've got a fast charger if you need it.
Connect MDU, secure with these nuts, connect the right angle bracket for that, amalgamate that part first. Finish amalgamating the links, then put the two glands on, and that's ready for installation.